Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Thursday Live. So we're doing it a little bit different today. I'm doing it from my phone because I'm going to have a guest phone in for you guys. So she's gonna hop on here in a minute and she's gonna tell you about her experience. I don't want to spoil too much of it about her story. I'm gonna let her share that with you. But she's gonna share with you her experience growing her business, starting out, from the beginning and how she's got to where she is at. So I'm gonna wait for her to join. Awesome, you're on. Now, it says you can allow viewers to request to join as a guest. So you can actually just request to hop on here and I'll invite you on. Alrighty, hopefully you guys can see me okay. The lighting's a little different on this camera. There you are. And
hi.
Hello, there you are.
Yeah, it only let me on my phone, so I'm just coming off my computer now.
Yeah, I have to do mine from my phone as well. So it's a Facebook thing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on this training. Lots of people.
Thank you so much for having me.
Exactly. Well, a lot of people are happy to hear from you. There's a lot of people that have told me they're kind of like in that same spot you were at. Hey, Kate, welcome. A lot of kind of people in that same boat where you were at kind of when you started growing your business online. And so I think they're really going to relate to what you have to share today, what your breakthroughs have been, even in the last few months in your business. It's just so great to hear your perspective. So I definitely want to dive into that. As you guys are joining, everybody say hey in the comments to Eliza. Thank her for joining us today and sharing her story. We really appreciate her being on here. Give her a hey in the comments. As you guys are hopping on, it's good to see some faces on here. Dee's on here, Caitlin's on. Good to see you guys. Give her some hearts. So fun. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody hopping on here. So, and if you're new here to our group, I know we have some new members here from the group. Just to give you a little bit of background about who I am, my name's 𝗂𝒈𝗄. I have a business mentoring company called Online Coach Intensive, where I teach other health and fitness coaches, dietitians, nutritionists, personal trainers, anybody in that space, how to go online and start getting clients online and then scale from there. And so Eliza is going to come in and kind of share her experience and give you guys some gold nuggets about where she's at in her business as well. So I'm really excited to dive into that with her today. But I think first and foremost, Eliza, just give everybody kind of a overview in terms of your story, where you were at in the beginning. Like before you even decided to join OCI, where were you at in terms of what was going on in your life? What were you up to? What were you working on?
Okay, well, I was more of a group fitness instructor. So I hadn't really done a lot of one-on-one in the gym type of personal training, but I worked with group fitness. So I worked at Orange Theory, and basically I was just teaching so many classes a day. I think I taught up to 5 classes a day, and oh my gosh, like my voice hurt after the first 2 hours, my body hurt after the end of the night, and I just felt so exhausted. Also, I had just had a baby, so I also have a toddler. So to put in all these hours working out, and my workout was just teaching and coming home to a toddler running around and having to stay up through the night and everything, I was like, I'm worn out. Like, I need to find a way to somehow just not put in, like, not be teaching so many classes a day, because I just felt so worn out. And I wasn't making that much too. So I was like, what can I do to actually have a sustainable income while being able to be with my son at the same time? So that's kind of what was going on with me. Like, I really wanted to find a way how I could be home with my son more and not be teaching classes all day long.
Yeah, I bet. So in terms of the classes you were teaching, I mean, like, how many hours a day would you say you were at the gym?
Usually it was around like 2:30 to 10. So when you teach that many classes in a row, and if I get a 15-minute break, most people want to stay and talk to me. So sometimes I'm like, when do I get to eat? Like, my dinner would be maybe 10:30 at night, and I just felt like I was just there all the time, and I think it was just really exhausting for my body too.
Yeah, I can't imagine working till 10 p.m. at night at the gym and then having to come home and having that toddler, and you want to be there and not miss those moments, and then being at the gym back to back to back on classes.
Yeah.
I feel. Leave a comment if you relate to that, what Eliza's talking about. If you're in a job right now where maybe you're not working till 10 at night, but it's taking up a lot of your hours and it's taking you away from being at home, and maybe you have kids at home or you want to have kids at home, and just your work-life schedule right now just is not conducive to how you want to show up and what you want your life to look like with your family. That's huge, and I can't even imagine what that would feel like. So at that point, you're working at the gym, you're there till 10 at night, you've got a toddler at home. Walk me through what your thoughts were at that point. Like, when were you, like, were you starting to think about going online? Had you been looking around at things? Like, what was that next step for you?
Yeah, I wanted to find a way how I could just make money from home. Like, being in a gym, it was really hard I never got to go on vacation because no one could ever cover me, my classes. And if I did if I did want people to cover, when I came back from vacation, I would have to kind of do double the amount to cover them. And then I was like, I can never get a break. Like, I want to be able to go on vacation without freaking out that no one could, teach my classes for me. But yeah, there was just a point where I was like, I need to find a way to make an income, but like just be at home. And I was kind of looking at online training, but I had no idea what it was. I just assumed it was just like Zoom workouts or stuff, like in quarantine. So I had no idea. And yeah, I was trying to just do more one-on-one, which I hadn't done in the gym like a lot before, but I tried going to people's houses. And yeah, after a month, I was like, no, I'm not driving 30 minutes to someone's house and then they pay me $50 and then I drive home, and it was even more time. So yeah, I had to find a way to just be a mom and work at the same time.
Yeah, so you were literally going from what you knew, which was what you were doing in person, to just kind of trying to figure out what this online coaching even is. So, basically what you're saying is, like, you didn't have a lot of experience, you didn't have everything figured out, you didn't have all of your online programs together. You were just like, I got to figure out a way to get some freedom back in my life and start doing this from home. Like, I'm just going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So walk me through, in terms of, like, once you joined, right? So eventually you found us, you joined OCI. What were, like, one or two big, what's the word I'm thinking of? What are one of the two biggest difference makers for you? Things that you implemented in the beginning where you were starting to see traction?
Yeah. So I started online coaching maybe like last September, but I just wasn't charging what I was worth. And I would be, charging clients like maybe like $250 a month. And I thought that was so much. I was like, $250? How could somebody pay $250 for coaching? Like, that's so much money. So my mindset around money was so different before. And yeah, I just thought it was like so much money. And it wasn't until I came across, like, I watched your webinar, I joined this group and I think it was like a 3 or 4 day training. And someone in the group had posted something, one of their wins about, oh, I just signed a $2,400 client. And I was like, wait, what? I thought $250 per month was a lot. So I think my mindset around that had just totally shifted. So I was doing like 12 weeks for $750. So when I saw that someone in the group was like, yeah, $2,400 client. Oh, I just signed a $1,500 client, all these things. I was like mind blown, because in my head, I was like, wow, I always thought like $750 was a lot. $250 per month was a lot. So my mindset around that has totally shifted, and I'm so grateful because now I'm charging double, or like more than double than what I was before. So
yeah, where are you at right now? What's your current price point?
My package is $1,800.
$1,800, and you were at $750.
I was at $750, and thinking that that was so much money that people wouldn't buy, that I wanted to lower it down.
Yeah, that you are like, I need to discount this. And I hear that so often. That is so relatable, because I'm sure there's somebody either listening to this now or listening to this on a replay who has that same belief. I hear it almost daily, where, you know, I'm offering someone like, listen, we can sell this for $1,800, $2,000, and they just don't believe it. They can't even believe someone would pay $200. And
Yeah.
so much of, you know, in terms of shifting, sometimes that's step one, shifting that belief and actually understanding that you can charge more. Because if you don't believe it, then you're just going to keep charging $750 forever and discounting your prices. That's such a good point you made.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't believe it's worth it, how is anybody ever going to buy it from you? So like actually getting the coaching on that to look at the value of what you're doing and making sure that the value is there so you believe it and you're like, yes, I actually can be charging more. I mean, think about how many less clients you would need for $1,800 when you're versus at $750. Like, the math just makes so much more sense for you, especially, you know, if you're trying to get out of your 9-to-5 job. So I definitely want to talk about that as well, because that was something exciting that happened for you. But yeah, I mean, I think number one for most people, the first thing in terms of like my original question, what was one of the biggest shifts you made? It is upping that price point, upping what you're charging. How do you feel that, talking about price point, how do you feel like your client's experience has changed charging more?
I honestly think that the people who are in my program now are doing so much better and getting way better results than all the people that I was charging $250. Like, some of the people I was charging $250 didn't even do the program. They would purchase it and then not even show up or not even get back to me. And it's crazy. So the people who who come into my program now, like, they are fully committed people, and they are getting the best results that I've ever had. And it also builds my confidence, and I'm like, okay, good, I know what I'm doing. Like, my program actually works. It's just getting the right people in there. So I'm so glad, like, I can work, you know, really intensely with like 1 or 2 people instead of like 10 people who are barely trying.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so important. I think so often we miss the part where them investing into themselves, right? Not us. They're not investing into us per se. It's actually an investment into themselves. and saying, hey, I'm worth it. I'm worth having this in my life. This is a really important goal for me and I'm worth it. And that's half the transformation for them right there. And so when we're undercutting how much we're charging, it's robbing them of the ability to go in and invest on themselves in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kate saying, dang, I was charging $30 a month. I'm worth so much more. Absolutely. Exactly. Yeah. So much more. And that's one of the first things, like in OCI, we take a look at is what are you charging? You're probably undercharging for 90% of people. It's about raising that price point. So, all right, so you're in OCI, you've raised your price point, you're at 1,800, your clients are happier than ever. They're getting better results. They're more invested. They're showing up to actually get value from you and your coaching. What do you think is like, now that you're in this spot, I mean, talk to me about where you're at in your life. So are you still at the gym? Talk to me about that. What's like your favorite part of your life and your business now?
Yeah, like once I got into OCI in the first couple weeks, like I was mind blown with how much money I made. And I was like, I'm done with the gym. Like I'm done. And I literally just like quit. And now I'm like, I got to go on 2 vacations so far. Yesterday I went on vacation. I just took my son and we went on a ferry boat to some random island and we just went to the beaches all over that random island. So it's so crazy. I have the flexibility now to do that and be able to be like, okay, I'm going to work from 7 p.m. to 10 and have the whole day with my toddler to go on adventures. Rather than before, I was like, okay, I have like an hour to do this. Like I have like no time at all whatsoever. So I just have so much time and freedom and I feel like I'm on top of the world. I don't have to wake up early anymore. Like it's awesome.
Yeah. So your price point's at 1,800. Your hours are less than you were working at the gym. You've made, how much was it that you shared with me you've made in OCI?
Like over 20,000, like almost $20,500. Like
that's
insane.
And insane. How much would you normally make at the gym working all of those hours?
I want to say like 2,000 to 2,500 a month.
Wow.
Working all those hours and just my body being sore all the time, my voice being tired all the time. And now I'm like, I can go away when I want. I have the freedom to just be like, I think I'm just going to take an hour walk right now. Yeah, so different.
It's so different. And I'm sure there's a ton of people listening who think that just sounds amazing. Yeah, I would love to be lucky like her, but, you know, what if I, you know, try to quit my job and it just, you know, I just for some reason am not able to do what Eliza has done. Like, what would you say to somebody who has maybe even tried going online before, or maybe they've even invested before and they've hired a coach before? What would you say to them if they're scared about, you know, actually making this something that they're committing to, growing their business, and even getting a mentor again if they've already tried something?
Yeah, and it's funny you asked me that because before you, I don't know if you know this, but I had invested some into like a YouTuber, influencer, a lot of money into her program. And I felt like I just was so burned by her. Like, I think I spent like $16,000 with her and she had never showed up to coach me. And I think that if you've ever been burned by a coach, like sometimes you just have to look past that. And it's kind of like dating, like you got to see who works best with you. And I just felt like in OCI, like this is what I needed. And if you learn all the correct systems, then you're going to be successful. If you learn how to have that good mindset, like you're going to be successful. Just like we tell our, you know, weight loss clients, if you're a health coach, like you can't just give up after 2 weeks of working out, 2 weeks of dieting kind of thing. Like, once you know the system, I just feel like I'm generating so many leads. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I would just say find the right system that's going to work, that's going to attract the right people. And I think that within 𝗖𝗍𝗶, like all the mindset training and coaching just has helped tremendously.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I actually forgot that you had invested in someone before. I don't think you even shared with me how much you had invested.
Yeah, I like to forget about her.
Well, I think that's really important. It's really important because I know there's someone out there that's done that, right? Their first investment, they were like, I would email in and then it would take like, forever and a day, like weeks and weeks to get a response and all of those things. So I totally get the fear. And I think for a lot of people, that in and of itself, that first experience is enough to, if their mindset isn't solid, quit and be like, I can't do it anymore. Or I just need to figure it out on my own until, I can get another mentor. And that's the slowest way to grow, right? Yeah. Right. So I'm glad that you shared that because it'll give hope to people out there if they're having fear about, trying something else. But I would say, obviously you're amazing. Everybody can tell you're amazing. And they're probably thinking, that, you're just like uber talented. And of course you were like bound for success. So what would you say like to the average person who doesn't feel like they, they're not techie, they're not, just maybe they feel like an introvert. I'm actually an introvert. What would you say to someone if they're like, I don't know if I'm as talented as Eliza, or what if I can't do it? Would you say this is something that anybody can do if they like just stay committed and do step by steps and ask for help when they need it? Or do you think that this is something where, they need to get ready for it or be in a certain spot where they're ready for it in order to be successful?
I think that anybody can do this. And like, I didn't start this way. Like, I'm somebody who, I've never done personal training, like, but my clients are getting such great results. And I'm a shy person too, but I practiced trying to do lives. Like, it took me a while. I was stuttering all the time. I didn't know what to say. And it honestly, like, the more you practice, the better you get. But I think this is something like anybody can do, like absolutely anybody, when you have the right steps and when you have the right like surroundings too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you shared that because I know, I'm just trying to think of what are the fears and worries that anybody listening to this would have about, listening to your story. Like, what, is it going to be possible for me? Can I do it? And obviously, you're amazing. And anybody who's committed to this process and willing to show up and get coaching and coachable on even shifting their beliefs. Like, even in the beginning for you, you had to be open to shifting a belief that you had around money, right? Yeah. That people, that's a lot of money, or that people won't, people don't invest a lot of money in health, or people don't invest a lot of money in fitness. So I'm curious from you, like, what are you most excited about now that you have the business where you are right now, looking forward with your business and your life? What excites you the most thinking about what you have coming in your life now that you've made this change?
Man, it's so crazy. Like, I just feel like we just got out of quarantine and I'm like, what is this new life I have? I'm just really excited that I get to spend more time with my family. And I don't need to worry about like how to teach more classes without all this extra time, or worrying about being so sore, or worrying if I have a voice to teach classes. Like, I'm really excited that I just get to help so many women. I help mostly women actually achieve their goals and actually get a transformation. But I'm just excited to grow and keep learning. Like, I'm still in my first year of this, but like I'm just excited to continuously learn and just continuously work on my mindset. I have all these fears coming up too. Even before, like it was scary, like investing again after I had burned into my, like, from my past mentor. But it's so worth it. Like it's so worth everything that I've learned in OCI.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being here, by the way, and sharing your story, and taking time away from, you know, your family, your toddler, your clients, and just being here and sharing this and giving and being of service. That's part of why you're an amazing coach, is because you really serve and come from the heart, with everything you do. So, you know, this is the point where I'm going to ask you guys listening, if you're on the replay, if you're listening to this somewhere else and you resonate with Eliza's story, and whether you're a personal trainer that does group classes, or you are a health coach and you have like a 9 to 5 or an office job, but it's literally taking all of your time away from your family, your time you want to spend with your spouse, or just burning out your energy, like Eliza said, like just literally just so tired physically from what you're doing, and you want to be able to still be of service and still help your clients, but on your schedule, on your timeline, then what we'll offer for you, if you're interested in how we can set these systems up for you and your business through OCI, so that you can feel like you just have clients and leads coming from everywhere, leave in the comments mentor. If you're on the replay, leave it on the comment mentor, and someone from our team will reach out to you and send you a message and just chat with you and see where you're at, find out what's going on, find out, you know, a little bit more about where you're at, who you are, who you want to help, and see if this is a good fit for you and see if this is a good time for you. If it is, we will talk to you about that and tell you what that looks like. And if it's not, we'll give you some guidance and some things that you can work on implementing right away either way, depending on where you're at. I think I'm having time to get to any questions in the chat. It's a little... Keeps asking if your clients all have the same program.
Everything is personalized in my program, so I don't do anything cookie cutter. I want to make sure they get results, and I want to make sure everything's different from what they've done in the past with like online cookie cutter programs. So my programs aren't the same for everybody.
Yeah, they have access to you for support. She's also asking if you had an initial fear of letting your clients down. I think this is a really common one for coaches.
Always.
Yeah. What if I can't get them results? What if it doesn't work and I can't help them? That's such a normal fear. Every single person, Kate, thank you for asking that question. Every person who has that fear, even if you didn't ask, it's there. It's so normal. Go ahead, I'll let you talk.
Yeah, I still have that fear. Anyone who messages me, I'm like, what if I can't help them? Oh no. And then it just goes up into my head. And then I'm like, and then I used to try to avoid booking the call because I'm like, I don't think I can help them. And those type of things would come up. But now I'm just kind of like, it's a numbers game. Give me more leads. If they sign up with me, like, I'm excited to help them through their transformation. And if you can really believe in your clients, then your clients are going to start believing in the systems that you're giving them and get the results that they deserve.
Yeah, absolutely. And that fear, that just makes you human. Like, we all have that little bit of imposter syndrome in us where it's like, you know, who are we to be doing this? Who are we to be charging high ticket? What if we, you know, let somebody down, or what if we can't help somebody? It's just a human, it means we have a human brain. So you're not broken if you have that fear. The difference is the coaches who are out there changing lives have the fear and don't let it stand in the way of helping people. Gina says, what was the length of time from you starting from the time you made big money? And I'm going to add to that question as well, like, how long after joining OCI did you quit your job too?
Okay, so before OCI, I was maybe making, I want to say like $500 to maybe $2,000. And then I joined OCI. My first month, I think I was expecting to try to hit over 2,000, and then I was like, "Hey, Valerie, I made $8,000." I was like, "What is it? Who is this person? Like, what's going on?" Yeah, I was so shocked. And once I realized like I could make that amount of money on the side of working at my gym, I was like, wow, like how much more potential do I have if I wasn't at the gym all the time? Like I could be talking to more people. I could be on the phone more, helping my clients more. And so I think 4 weeks in, I was like, I just made 8K. Like I'm ready to go all in.
Yeah.
And put in my 2 weeks.
So that was the 8K. That's with working physically demanding jobs from like 2 till 10 o'clock at night and having a high energy toddler running around at home.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. Awesome. I think that was it for the questions. Again, guys, if you're watching this and you are like, I need a mentor, I need someone to show me how to set these systems up, I need to know how to get clients consistently and predictably, what systems I need for that. To have an online business, if you've never gone online before, maybe you've tried some things online and it's not working, type mentor in the chat so someone from my team can reach out to you and talk to you about what we do at OCI, if it's a good fit for you. If it's not, see where you're at and give you some guidance either way. Do a little mini audit on your business and see where you're at. Thank you so much for joining us, Eliza. I want to make sure that, you know, I really appreciate you and appreciate you, you know, giving so much to everybody here in this group as well. You know what it's like to be in this group because you went through this group as well before you became a client. So thank you for sharing with us today. We really appreciate you. You're an awesome coach. And that's it for us, guys. I hope everyone on here has an amazing rest of their evening.
All right. Thanks, Valerie.